Okay, this is the last section of the linear and non-linear graphs, and this last bit's a little bit kind of messy, but has a couple of things in there that are pretty useful. So the first one there is addition of ordinates. So this allows us to create a graph from combining, or by, I should write there really, by combining others. Okay, and the addition of ordinates, the ordinates part, comes from, for a given x value, we add the addition part, the y values of each graph. Alright, so the addition of ordinates, it's the addition of the y values, or the y coordinates. Alright, so let's have a look at an example of how we might do that. Okay, so let's have a look. So sketch the graph. Of y equals 1 on x plus x. So the way we're going to do that then is that what we do is first of all we sketch y equals 1 on x and y equals x on the same axis. Then add our y coordinates Alright, so let's have a look at it then. Clear that. Okay, so there's our Cartesian plane. So we need to put our two things on there. So let's leave this one being y equals x. So we know y equals x goes like that. Because when you got your rule, you'll be able to draw it much nicer than that. The other one that we have is y equals 1 on x. Now y equals 1 on x. 1 on 1 is here. 1 on 2 is there. 1 on 2 is there, half and so on, so we get something that goes like this. Over on here, we get one that goes like this. So I probably haven't shown the scale, but anyway. Alright, so now what we do is we add our ordinates. So we're adding our y coordinates. So for a given x value, so say this one here, x equals 2, we take the two corresponding y values and we add them together. So that's going to be 2.5 or something. It's going to be that. It's going to be there somewhere. Alright, and so we just got to add the little bits together all the time, and when we do that, we end up with something that's going to go something like that. Same over here. Here we add this little bit to this bit here. And we add those two bits together there. We add this bit and this bit here. Get And so again, we have something that goes something like that. Okay, so if you do it with your a bit more accurately, so that's y equals 1 on x plus x. So if you do it a bit more accurately, you can get it to fit a little bit better. Of course, you need to get your calculator to do that as well. So in your calculator, if you made that one equal y3, blue one y1, and the green one y2, you can get your calculator to draw those. So important things is that these y values we add together for a given x value to then get what we're after. Alright, so there's our addition of ordinates. Alright, the next thing we're going to be doing is reciprocal. A reciprocal graph. So a reciprocal means 1 over that thing. So if I'm going to sketch the reciprocal of, say, y equals x squared, then that reciprocal will be 1 on x squared is what we're going to sketch. So again, let's have a look. And right, so I'll have a look, and first of all, let's put x squared on there. So x squared, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9, 0 squared. So we get what we already know and recognise as a parabola. And so there it is there. So that's y equals x squared. Okay, the one we're going to be drawing now is y equals 1 on x squared. So we're just going to do 1 over, and so just pick some points. So when x equals 0, y equals 0, x squared is 0. So you then got 1 on 0. So we're actually going to end up with an asymptote there. Okay, so when x is equal to 1, x squared is 1, 1 on 1 is 1. When x is 2, x squared is 4, so that's 1/4. Alright, and so on. So what we're going to end up with is something that looks like this. Okay, and in the negative, negative 1 squared is 1, 1 on 1 is 1. Negative 2 squared is 4. 1 on 4 is 1/4. So again, we end up with something that goes like that. Alright. And again, you can get your calculator to do that if you make that one y2 and this one y1. Calculator can do that for you. Alright, the other thing that is in here is sketching the square of a graph. Alright, again we'll do the same sort of thing. So let's have a look. We'll do it graphically. Okay, so there we go, y equals 2 on x, say for example, and we're looking at then therefore sketching y2 equals 2 on x all squared, what we're looking at. So we're looking at the same way of doing this. Alright, so let's first of all put y equals 2 on x. So when x is 1, 2 on 1 is 2. When x is 2, 2 on 2 is 1. When x is 4, 2 on 4 is a quarter. So we get something like this. Okay, when x is negative 1, 2 on 1 is negative 2. Negative 2 on negative 2 is negative 1. 2 on negative 4 is negative a half. So we get something like that. Alright, so the graph that we're looking for then is the square of that. So the easiest thing we can do is we can have a look and we can say for each x value, let's have a look at what we ended up for the blue, for the y here, and x equals 2 here. It was 1. So 1 squared is 1, of course. For x equals 1, however, our value we ended up with was 2. 2 squared is 4. And so on. So we get something. And of course here it was a half, and a half squared is a quarter. So we're going to get something that goes down in there like that. Over here, okay, we've got negatives, so we're going to square them. And so that's negative 2 here. And when we square it, we get 4. Here's negative 1. When we square it, we get 1. Here it's negative. Here it's negative half. When we square that, we get positive quarter. And so we end up with something looking a little bit like that. And again, you can do that on your calculator. Put that as y2. This is y1. You can have a look and you can see what they're like. Alright, so that's the last bit, that's 10i, that's set number 9. Of course, after this you've got your revision sets. Okay.